What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some very, very interesting news. According to well-renowned trainer, two-time trainer of the year, REYNOSO, trainer of 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer, who is currently the undisputed super middleweight world champion and widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Saul Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, 57 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, stands at 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. Well, REYNOSO, after Canelo Alvarez, he defeated former IBF super middleweight world champion superstar boxer Caleb Sweethand Plant to become undisputed and create history 2 times over. He became the first super middleweight undisputed world champion in the history of the sport of boxing. And he became the first Mexican-born fighter to hold all 4 major sanction belts and the Ring magazine belt simultaneously. So he created history 2 times over. Not to mention, he became only the 6th fighter in the history of the sport of boxing to become undisputed. Okay, #1, you had Bernard Hopkins. You had #2, Jermaine Taylor, who beat Bernard Hopkins. And this is undisputed, meaning holding all 4 major sanction belts. Now, obviously, there's been other undisputed champions in the history of the sport of boxing. But to hold all 4 belts and the Ring magazine, there was Bernard Hopkins at #1. Jermaine Taylor beat Bernard Hopkins. He's at #2. Then Terrence Bud Crawford, who beat Julius Ndongo, he came in at #3. Then you have Oleksandr Usyk at cruiserweight. He became #4. And then most recently, you had Josh Taylor, who beat Jose Ramirez at junior welterweight, like Terrence Crawford, to become the 5th undisputed champion. And Canelo Alvarez comes in at #6. With that said, REYNOSO, he states that he and Canelo Alvarez, they are looking for the biggest challenges, and they don't view 2-time WBC super middleweight world champion, undefeated Mexican superstar boxer David Benavidez as that challenge. Okay, they want a challenge and they want respect. They don't view David Benavidez as such. He says, we're searching for a challenge. We're searching for the fighter that's going to give us the biggest challenge. And it was a struggle. Okay, now get this. They also let it be known that it was a struggle for Canelo Alvarez when he started his career at welterweight. So they moved up to junior middleweight. Okay, so Canelo Alvarez is 5'8", and he's not a big guy, but he's stocky. Okay, so it was a struggle, and so he explains that they moved up to junior middleweight. And then it became a struggle to make 154 pounds, junior middleweight. So they moved up to 160 middleweight. And it became a struggle to find challenges and to make the weight at 160. So they ended up going up to 168 to test the waters. Now, he's not the biggest guy in stature, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach, but he's stocky. And then he said we moved up to 175, and then we came back down and campaigned at 168. And now we're looking to go to 190. Okay, because it's a struggle for Canelo Alvarez to make 168. Now, obviously, the question is going to be, there's a lot of meat on the bone, as Timothy Bradley put it, at 168. Okay, there's a lot of work to be done at 168. Obviously, to completely clean out a division at 168, you would have to beat David Benavidez, because David Benavidez was viewed as the best super middleweight in the world. Okay, before Canelo Alvarez decided to campaign at 168, David Benavidez was viewed as the best super middleweight in the world. Okay, and the biggest fight at super middleweight was David Benavidez and Caleb Sweethand Plant. Okay, now that never came to fruition, and Canelo Alvarez decided to make 168 his home, and so we know the rest is history. Okay, and so he didn't clean out 168 division. I seen people say he cleaned out super middleweight. Well, no, he didn't clean out super middleweight because he didn't beat the best fighter at super middleweight. And then he went to 175. Now, he beat Sergey Crusher Kovalev, who was a 2-time light heavyweight world champion, superstar Ukrainian boxer. But with that said, Sergey Kovalev was viewed to be past it. He wasn't viewed as the best light heavyweight in the world. That would be unified, undefeated boxer in Arthur Beterbiev, who's the WBC and the IBF light heavyweight champion. and Dimitri Bivol, who's the undefeated light heavyweight WBA champion. Okay, they're viewed as the best. Even when Sergey Kovalev got the belt back, they would have been the favorite going into any fight with Sergey Kovalev. Either guy, Artur Beterbiev or Dimitri Bivol, they both would have been viewed as the favorite going into a fight with Sergey Kovalev. Okay, so with that said, he didn't beat the best at light heavyweight. He didn't beat the best fighter at super middleweight. So now he's saying that the best option for them is to go to cruiserweight, okay? And they want to campaign and have this fight at cruiserweight to become a 5-division world champion, okay? Now he, obviously addressed that people are feeling like he's patting the stats, okay? He's taking on a guy that has been knocked out twice in his career, okay? He's taking on a guy that's not viewed as the best cruiserweight in the world, okay? And, it's seen as he's padding his stats right now, okay? That's how it comes off, okay? Against Ilunga Makabu, okay? Ilunga Makabu is the WBC cruiserweight world champion, okay? And Canelo Alvarez has great timing because you had a unified, undisputed cruiserweight in Oleksandr Usyk, who has a Olympic gold medalist, a southpaw, has a huge pedigree, and he was never an option for Canelo Alvarez. Never a thought. Now he campaigns at heavyweight. He was never an option, never a thought, and yet now they make the decision to go to cruiserweight once he, exits the division. Okay, so with that said, Ilunga Jr. Makabu, 28 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 25 wins by way of knockout, but he himself been knocked out twice. 34 years of age, stands at 6 feet tall with a 74-inch arm reach. So he's not the biggest cruiserweight. Okay, he's actually in stature about the same height as Caleb Plant, same size as Caleb Plant outside of the natural weight. He fights at 190 pounds. Caleb Plant fights at 168. Okay, this is a guy who was knocked out in his debut. Okay, and he also was brutally knocked out by Tony Bellew back in May of 2016. Okay, so in his debut in June of 2008, he was knocked out. In May of 2016, he was knocked out brutally in the 3rd round by Tony Bellew. So obviously they see that they can win the fight, and this is what Eddie Reynoso stated, that they're taking this fight with Mugabe. They're taking this fight because they know they can win. That's exactly what he stated. He said, we're taking this fight because we know we can win. Okay, so he's not taking fights that are 50-50 fights. He's not taking fights that, are daring to be great. He's taking fights, as he stated, that he knows he can win these fights, okay? Now, what's surprising is they want this fight to take place in Africa. Okay, in Congo. Okay, so they're looking for this fight to take place in Africa and Congo in May. Okay, then here's where the big surprise came in, is because the big surprise came in is now he says that after this fight against Ilunga Makabu, right, they're looking to face off against their longtime rival, a guy he fought twice and said that the fight been behind him, in GENNADY Triple G Golovkin in September in Mexico, okay? Who's 41 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 36 wins by way of knockout, 39 years of age, 5'10.5" with a 70-inch arm reach. So you see, he's facing off against Ryota Murata December 29th in Asia, in a unification bout. He still fights at 160. So clearly they're going to ask Triple G, who's been desperate to fight Canelo Alvarez in a trilogy. The first fight ended in a draw. The second fight saw Canelo Alvarez victorious. And he's desperate to fight Canelo Alvarez. That's been his, goal since the draw and losing to Canelo Alvarez. That's only been his focus. He hasn't accomplished doing much in the sport of boxing since the Canelo Alvarez fight. He fought Steve Rolls, Sergey Derevyanchenko, where most people thought he lost that fight, including myself. Then he fought his mandatory in Zarmada, and now he's been inactive for over a year. The last time he fought was December of 2020. He didn't fight this year, and he's not going to fight until the end of the year. So it's a calendar year by the time he fights again. Okay, and he'll be well over 40 years old by the time this fight happens with Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez, a trilogy. So now he's saying that Canelo Alvarez wants to fight Triple G in Mexico, right? because they believe at this point in time there's vulnerabilities in Triple G. He looked like he was on the verge of getting stopped by Sergey Derevyanchenko. Okay, he didn't look that great against Armada in his mandatory, and he hasn't been in the ring for over a year. So there's vulnerabilities when it comes to Triple G. So it's surprising because Canelo Alvarez continued to tell the world once Triple G signed a huge multi-fight deal with the Zone to follow and try to pursue Canelo Alvarez. That's the reason why Triple G did it. Canelo Alvarez, he told the world that he has zero interest in fighting Triple G, and that fight and that chapter of his career and his life is completely behind him. Now he's interested in fighting Triple G in Mexico. Why? Because it's a name still. Okay, you have a fight in Mexico, and you could look great against him, and they're going to praise you. So this is calculated moves, okay? He wouldn't dare fight David Benavidez, who he don't know what the outcome is going to be in Mexico, because he don't know what the outcome is going to be. He wouldn't fight, a guy like, Ramirez, okay? He wouldn't fight him in Mexico, Zurdo Ramirez, because he don't know what the outcome is going to be. You understand? He wouldn't dare fight Jamal Charlo in Mexico because he's not sure what the outcome is going to be. But he'll face off against Triple G in Mexico, a homecoming fight with a name that they can identify with. They're going to still view Triple G as being a serious risk, which we all know he's not. And so he knocks out Triple G in Mexico, and he's going to get praised. You see, this is all calculated moves to fight Makabu in Africa now. Now Canelo Alvarez wants to fight in Africa. All calculated. So he wants to fight in Africa in May, and Triple G in September, and then he wants to fight again in December. All calculated moves. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hey, this is Ebony Bridges, Blonde Bomber, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.